Welcome to our first online tutorial on using Aussie Explorer. Aussie Explorer is our digital mapping software that we use at SVSAR. And we do have other mapping resources that we have, but Aussie Explorer is our main one. Aussie Explorer also dovetails in with Aussie Tracker, and the Aussie Tracker is the software that allows us to track our digital GPS radios in the field. So today's tutorial is going to concern itself with how do we load maps for viewing on our screen, and also how do we save tracks like this red circle and the blue line, and waypoints like this one called ICP. So to start with, maps. We have many maps available to us. We have satellite maps, topographical maps, and street maps, and a few others. And all of these maps are maintained on the hard drive in the C drive. So to load a map, we'll come up to the top left-hand corner and click on the load symbol. And then we are going to load a map file. And then we want to go to our C drive. Inside that, Aussie Explorer. And inside Aussie Explorer, it'll either say Maps or it might say Aussie Maps. And then we have a selection of all the maps we can choose from. So our main map is a topographical map, and that'd be the Shuswap SAR area. And that's the one we typically would use. However, if we want to use a street map, if we were doing an urban search in Chase, then we might want to have a street map of Chase. We'd open up this folder that says street maps, and we look for one that says Chase street map, and we could use it. And again, we have under maps, we also have satellite image maps like the ones that you're viewing, and we even have marine charts. So in this particular case, see how it's on the lake. Let's have a look and open up Shuswap Lake. And so now our map is going to change over to a marine chart, but our waypoints and our tracks are still maintained even though we've changed our map. So to go over that again, to load a map, to change to a different map, we'll go to load map file, and then we'll go to our C drive, Aussie Explorer, maps, and it might say Aussie Maps. And let's pick the satellite image map again, and Shuswap full area, and up comes our map. So that is switching from one map to the other, and we can do this multiple times during one task. So if we're looking at a topographical map and the police officer comes in and that person would rather look at a satellite imagery map, we can easily change maps to make it easier for him to view. The next thing I wanted to talk about was tracks and waypoints. So we use tracks to delineate search areas, and so, for example, this red circle is a 50% probability area that we've created on our map, and that is one track. This yellow line is a second track, and it's a shoreline search going north from ICP, and we have a green line showing a shoreline search going south from ICP. And then we have two search areas here, one outlined in blue and then one outlined with green hash marks going through it. So each one of these tracks is a separate file. So to look at the files in Aussie, we're going to go up to this menu bar at the top and click on Show Hide Track Control. And this is a list of each of these tracks. Now, these tracks are not saved on the hard drive of the computer just yet, but they are inside Aussie Explorer. We will want to save each of these tracks individually inside the hard drive in a folder for today's task. So to do that, we would click on one of the tracks and then find this icon up top for Save the Selected Track. And this is going to take us, and we're going to drill down to our documents and inside the documents will be a number of other folders. We want to pick task documents, and inside that, pick the current year, and then there will be a folder for all the documents for today's task. So I'll double click on that, and here is a list of all the tracks that we've saved so far in this particular folder. So I would, for this one, this is a Shoreline Search North. It will be the file name, and I would just click on save, and then that will save it on the hard drive. Now I would go through and save each and every one of these tracks onto the hard drive, and I would do that as I'm creating each track. So if I create a new search area up here, once I've created it, then I would save it onto the hard drive, and then once they are saved, then they can be downloaded or exported into different formats to use on Google Earth and other mapping software. So that's tracks. Each track is a separate file. Waypoints, however, all waypoints that are on the map will be in one file. And to get to a list of my waypoints, if I come up here and click on the Show Waypoint List, here's my waypoint list. And this one ICP is the very last one that I've created, and it's down here. And so if I click on that, I can then click on the Save options, and I can save the selected waypoints to a new file. Say yes, and go to that same folder for today's task, and give it a name, and save the waypoint. So there you go. That is saving waypoints, tracks, and loading maps.